welcome to the video. This is Project Cove Draft 0, and I have been focusing on plotting a lot this past week, and that's what this whole video is about, and some discoveries I've made. I look forward to bringing you guys along on my journey.
Give the reader some structure. To give the reader something to hang on to give them a sense that a story is being told and is moving along. Plot tends to be the one.
Yeah.
Babe Boy and I just got back from a walk. I needed to get out of the house for a little bit. I also planned to maybe go to the store in a little bit, but I wanted to try to sit and see if I can write a few words down. I decided that I'm gonna pause from typing and try to just just write the story with pen and paper, basically. I feel like I need to get away from the idea of needing to edit and be perfect. So I feel like not typing it will help me do that. Whereas if I'm writing, I can just write and scratch and keep going. And I can easily remind myself that it doesn't need to be perfect right now. You're just gonna write. You ready? I'm pretty sure I made a huge breakthrough on the plotting of my book, or not the plotting per se, but the plot in general. There were details missing in how certain characters work together and the mission overall that my main character Mina has. And at first, and this is the big thing, I was gonna have this prophecy and the reason for the push for her to go out and find her mom be that she has the same ability that her mom has. But I just realized when I was working through this breakthrough that I'm actually, I think it'd be better if she didn't have the ability. So I'm reworking some of the story. I still want there to be this, the ability present in the story somehow, so I'd have to figure out how to work it in, because we're not gonna see her mom through a lot of it until maybe actually we probably won't see her mom until Act 3, maybe end of Act 2. You pooped. Okay, let's go change you.
quick update with Project Cove. This week has been a great week for writing and, well, I guess not really for writing, but for discovery. I have been able to somehow have an epiphany, a breakthrough with my story, and I feel like now I can actually write the story, I think. But it was just getting to a point where I was just like, I felt like I couldn't write the story because there were a few missing pieces that I was just like, I can't write it without the knowledge that I need. And I think the best way I explained it the other day to my husband is like, I want to write this very complex story with complex characters and twists and turns. But it's like I couldn't see what the complexity was exactly and how I wanted things to overlap and stuff like that. So I had this epiphany, I had this breakthrough, and I was like, okay, I know what my story is now. So I set up a plotting system. I have it, well, this was like the first iteration of it, and it's on my computer now. I'm using an Excel spreadsheet. Basically the same layout though. This is like inspired by J.K. Rowling. This is what she did. Yes, bud. You okay? So yes, I had a breakthrough and hopefully I'll be able to tell you more about that. But first, I want to really flesh out this plotting. So at first I was just going to do like the general statements, and that's what I started with in this rough draft. Is just the opening, act 1, act 2, act 3. I separated the opening from act 1 because I want to make sure that I spend a good amount of time explaining and the world and setting up the opening chapters. And so in my head, they're separate from Act 1. So what I have in my Excel setup for Project Cove, this plotting system, and I believe J.K. Rowling also did this. I think she did her plotting by chapters. I started with the opening, Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. I have those as like the summary headers for each section with the plot, the main plot, and the subplots. And then I have the chapters in between. So I moved I put a general amount of like lines in between for like chapters to include. And now I'm fleshing out each main plot and all the subplots, as well as like all the details of what's happening in the chapter. So I know what I'm writing about. I know when the main plot is included in the storyline, in the chapters, as well as all the subplots. So not every chapter is going to have every subplot, but somehow the main plot should somehow intertwine. Actually, based off the way I wrote my main plot, it doesn't necessarily come up initially in every chapter, but it's there. It's always going to be there because it's the point of your story. But the opening chapters, there's just a lot going on. It's a complex story. So, like I said, I wanted a complex story, so it's going to be a lot to take in. The other thing is that when I finally had this breakthrough, I knew this story wasn't going to be written in like this year, and it may not even be written in a year. But now I can kind of foresee how long it's going to take me to write the story. Not exactly like I can put a timestamp on how long it's going to take me to write it. I just know it's going to take me a long time to write this story. And I mean multiple drafts. And right now I'm still working on draft 0, but I have a feeling after writing this plotting that I'm probably going to scrap my original draft 0 and start again. So it's going to be draft 0.5 or something, or draft 0A. I don't know. It's going to be another draft 0 because I don't have any, well, I have a story written, but I feel like it's just easier to start over completely with the new plot I have. I'm going to use some of those scenes still. I don't think anything's going to be actually fully deleted, but I'm going to start on a new blank canvas and then pull what I need from that story, because there are some things I wrote that I really, really love, and I'm not going to get rid of them. But I feel like it's just better to start on that blank canvas with the new plotting I have. It's the same story, It's just more fleshed out. And so I have the opening almost done. I don't know when I want to stop the opening and then make it, well, I kind of do. After like this catalyst event that starts my main character to be put on this journey, that's when Act 1 will start. So I'm almost done fleshing out the details for the opening. And right now it's looking like 4 chapters for the opening. It might be 5, or maybe that 5th chapter is like that in between of like the opening and Act 1. That detail doesn't really matter for the actual story, it's just a transition. But for writing and laying this out for myself as a visual, I think it's going to be chapter 5 is going to be like the opening's done. We're starting the journey, the story now in Act 1. So I'm very excited and I'm absolutely loving this. I got to get my baby. That's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been real fun making these writing videos, and I look forward to whatever the next one's going to be, and hopefully I can sit down and actually give an update and maybe show you some of my writing. See ya. Bye.